Hi, everyone. I'm Monique with MD Consulting. My clients often have a really hard time organizing their meetings. If you're a leader, you are probably in multiple meetings on a daily basis. There's a lot of information going back and forth. There's a lot of people, a lot of details that are in those meetings, and there are a lot of action items that come from those meetings. My clients have a common problem with being able to organize that information, being able to lead the meeting, and also make sure that the action items get assigned and actually executed. Here's a couple of tips that I think will help you if you're in that kind of a situation. And in coaching, my clients and I talk through this and come up with ways that they can modify this information to make it work for them. An important part of running meetings is to make sure that you're taking notes, that you have minutes after those meetings are complete. Now, as a leader who has to facilitate the meeting, it's very hard for you to take notes and facilitate at the same time. But you can delegate that activity. And part of good leadership is to delegate. So I coach my clients around how to delegate someone to take the minutes for these meetings. And here's what that would look like. Someone on the team would be the person taking notes or taking minutes during the meeting. And you could rotate that responsibility for each meeting, choose somebody different from the team. You can ask for volunteers to take turns taking minutes. But the point is that you, as the leader, as the facilitator, should not be the one taking the minutes, but you should have minutes. It's a way of staying organized. It's a way of setting expectations, because you're going to come out of that meeting with a set of guidelines, a set of action items, and people assigned to those action items from the conversation that came up in the meeting. Now, what this looks like afterwards is that the person who took the meeting minutes would plug them into a template, and there are many templates out there for meeting minutes. And then that person would send that out to the rest of the group and say something in the email like, attached are the minutes from our meeting. Please let me know if I missed anything. Because really, realistically, even if someone is paying close attention and taking notes, they may miss something. You can't capture every single detail. So by putting that little disclaimer in the email, the person is pretty much saying, I'm not perfect. I might have missed something. Please let me know, and I'll update the minutes if I need to. Once those minutes go out to the group, everyone now has a record of what took place in the meeting, who has action items, what the deliverables are, what the timelines are, and that goes on record. It is also a way for the next meeting for you as the leader to look at those minutes and look at the action items and address the action items to make sure that they've been completed because they were in the minutes from the last meeting. So it's a way that you can start out the next meeting and be sure that you have a status on these action items. Now, many leaders are afraid to delegate, which is another topic altogether. But if it is something that you will delegate, you will find that your meetings will run much more effectively. You won't have to worry about taking notes or taking minutes. You've got someone else doing it, which frees you up to lead the meeting, to facilitate the meeting. And you can do a much better job doing it because you're not multitasking and trying to take notes at the same time. You're also not having to put the notes into the template afterwards. Again, you're too busy for that. That should be delegated to somebody on your team. Now, one of the downsides to having someone on your team take the minutes is that that person cannot fully participate in the meeting because they're busy listening and taking notes. So you need to understand that, and the group also needs to understand that whoever is taking the minutes, that's their job during the meeting, is to take minutes. They won't be able to fully participate in discussion. So if that's acceptable to you, then I would highly recommend you try this when you're having your meetings. Now, you might run across one of those highly gifted people who can take minutes and participate at the same time. And if that's the case, you have found a gem on your team, because that skill is highly coveted and not a lot of people can do it. So give it a try if you want your meetings to be more organized. This really helps you to set expectations with the team, which is part of your job as a leader. It also helps you as a leader to be more organized and to manage the time more efficiently and more effectively. And it also gives the team a record of what took place during the meeting. So I hope this helps. Give it a try and let me know how it goes. Bye-bye.